Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are discussing the classification of food based on perishability. Perishability is basically the moisture content which is available for the enzymatic and microbial activities, etc. The food is classified by the food scientist into three groups on the basis of the perishability. The three groups are the stable foods, the semi-perishable foods, and the perishable foods. Now we will discuss all these three groups in detail in a way in which we will discuss that for how long it can be stored, what are its examples, and what is its moisture content, and whether it can be spoiled by spoilage microorganisms or not. So let's start from the stable foods. The stable food are kept fit for human consumption from a period of 3 months to 3 years depending upon the storage conditions. Examples of such foods are the dry fruits, the honey, the dry fruits means the cereals, legumes, etc., the rice, the barley, the maize, which can be stored under favorable conditions. And remember that the moisture content of such foods is less than 15%. It means that the moisture content for the microbial activities is so low that they cannot perform their activities sufficiently or properly to spoil the foods. Therefore, those foods, such as the stable food, are not spoiled by the microorganisms and enzymes. In simple, we call it autolysis. They can't be spoiled by autolysis. Secondly, the semi-perishable foods. The semi-perishable foods can be stored from few weeks to few months. That is, if the environment is favorable for storage, they can be kept from few weeks to few months. Examples of such foods are the garlic, onion, potato, uh, and apple, etc., which have moisture content but in insufficient amount for the microbe, that is not that much free and is not available for the microbial activities and enzymatic activities and for the interaction of the components of the food to spoil that food. So they can be stored comparatively for a longer period of time than the perishable commodities. They have a moisture content from 60 to 90%. And remember that the semi-perishable foods can be spoiled by the autolysis, that is the self-destruction. The reactions taking place between the components of the food and the either by the enzymes present in that food. Now we are discussing the perishable commodities. The perishable commodities can be stored and kept from few hours to few days. The reason for this is that they are readily available for the microbial activities and can easily be spoiled by the process of the autolysis. In some cases, they can be kept from few hours to few weeks depending upon the storage conditions, but that doesn't happen over here in the tropical regions. Rather, that happens in the Arctic, etc., where the food is in storage is in frozen state and can be stored and preserved by this way. So the perishable commodities can be kept stored for a few hours to few weeks depending upon the storage conditions. Moreover, the examples are the milk, meat, fish, poultry, eggs, etc. If the food is refrigerated, the shelf life will be longer. If the food is canned and heated, it will be preserved for a prolonged period of time. But if it is opened, then it may be considered as the fresh commodity because it will spoil very soon. After that, the moisture content of such foods are ranging from 80 to 95% in this case. And if it has moisture content from 80 to 95%, then it will be spoiled very soon. They will be spoiled by the process of the autolysis. Autolysis is basically the self-destruction of the food, the ingredients of the food. The ingredients of the food come in contact and react with each other, or by the enzymes present in that food will react with the food components and will spoil that food. This was all about the classification of food on the basis of the perishability. Basically, we learn this from this lecture, that if we know the classification, and if we know about that particular food, that which type of food it is, we can easily state about its shelf life and about its moisture content, because it determines few things: autolysis, the shelf life, and the moisture content. We can learn it even from just as example. That is, if we mention it, we can learn that which type of commodity it is and how much shelf life it would have, and if it is stored under favorable conditions, for how much time it could be stored. If you have any question about it, you can ask us. Thank you.